So I've been learning with Sheikh Akram for the last 2 years or so, and alhamdulillah, it's an amazing experience to learn from him. He's so inspiring and he's an ocean of knowledge, and this seemed like an excellent opportunity to learn from him, but also to reconnect with a lot of activities that are part of our Islamic culture, things that we can be very proud of, like calligraphy, archery, visiting iconic sites like Alhambra in Granada, the Mosque of Cordoba. So all in all, it was just such an excellent package, and it involved such a balanced approach to doing so many different activities and nourishing your soul, but also recalibrating your mind, also doing physical activity, and then, socializing with, sisterhood and everybody else. So it was a very holistic retreat to be on. My favorite lesson was probably recalibrating the mind with Sheikh Akram. I really love the approach that he has to philosophy, and things that we're often taught in the West are the pedestal of thought, and how he kind of approaches that in light of faith, and how, in fact, Islam gives us a very complete way of living, not just in terms of actions, but also in terms of thoughts. So for me, that was very, very interesting, and I've taken away a lot of key things, and I feel like I'm ready now to go away and try to implement that, inshallah. The workshops were excellent. It was my first time doing calligraphy, archery, Islamic geometry, so essential oils. I also did that as well, which is very interesting. That's aromatherapy. And it was my first time doing them, and particularly for calligraphy and Islamic geometry, they're things that you casually observe, but you don't really think about them too much. So I'll see calligraphy and I'll think, oh, that looks lovely. But actually doing it for myself and learning just how much effort and how much patience you need to master the art, it was amazing. I'll never see calligraphy in the same way. And learning from our teacher, who he'd gone to Turkey, he spent 6 years mastering the art full time. And it was really inspiring to learn from him and hear his personal story. And I think what was particularly interesting about all the different workshops is they all had an element of excellence that you needed to strive for in order to do well in them. And that Islamic principle of ihsan, that was so central in the entire retreat. And everything we did, we were pushing for excellence. And we saw that in the trips we went to as well. In the mosques that we saw, and generally the civilization that we're revisiting on this trip, a very central thought for me was excellence. So that was very much, on a microscopic level, but also macroscopic level, that was present everywhere. So alhamdulillah, the staff at ASI are excellent. They're always willing to help. They're always very friendly. And it's not the case where often in Islamic institutes you can only ever talk to brothers. Here, alhamdulillah, we have a lot of sisters running the show, which is great as well. That's always good to see, and everybody's very approachable, alhamdulillah. So the venue that the retreat has taken place at, Alquería de Rosales, it's a very, very interesting place to have the retreat, not just because of the space that there is to do all the different activities we've done, but also because of the owner himself, Sheikh Al-Salam. He has an amazingly inspiring story behind who he is, how he came to Islam, how he wasn't allowed to build the minaret for the mosque, and then he ran to be mayor so he could change that. And you get a very strong element of, he's somebody who acts. If he wants to do something, he doesn't complain, he acts, and you see that in the story about him becoming mayor. And it's just very, very inspiring to see that it doesn't matter where you are. You could be, in a Muslim country, and you could have masajid all around you, or you could be in the middle of nowhere. You are still on the earth of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and so, where you make the good intention to place goodness and learn goodness and share that with others, Allah puts barakah in that, and I feel like this is a place where that's the case. My objectives when coming to this retreat were mainly to learn from Sheikh Akram, because that's the only thing I already knew and was exposed to. In terms of activities, I didn't really know what to expect because I've never done those activities before. So I'd say in some ways I've exceeded the objectives because I kind of created new ones as I was trying new activities. So alhamdulillah, I've managed to learn a lot. I've met some wonderful people who I hope to stay in contact with, inshallah, and to continue to learn with ASI.